Good morning, friends. So I welcome you all for my online learning classes. So from past few sessions we have been discussing about matrices. We have discussed many concepts about matrices, and in last class we have started with the new topic in matrices, that is matrix multiplication. This was one of the operation on matrices, that is multiplying two matrices, right? So in order to multiply two matrices, what is the sufficient and necessary condition, we have seen those things, and after multiplying what will be the order of the matrix, that also we have seen, and we have slowly solved many examples, and I have also given some examples for you people to work out, right? By all those activities, it is, I hope the concept is very much clear for you people. Now let us take up two more examples on matrix multiplication and move on to next topic. Before moving on to next topic, let us take two examples. These examples are just to refresh the concepts what we have learnt in the last classes. Okay. So now in this we have been provided with two matrices, right? First one is of order 3 cross 3. Second one is of order 3 cross 2. First matrix A is of order 3 cross 3 and matrix B is of order 3 cross 2. Now what was the condition? Number of columns of first matrix should be equal to number of row of second matrix. So here 3 columns are there and here 3 rows are there. So these two matrices are eligible for multiplication. And once we multiply and get the final matrix, what will be the order of that? 3 cross 2. Order of that will be 3 cross 2. Okay, so let us see what will be value of AB. AB or A into B can be written as three, 9, 5, 2, right? Okay, now we all know that in matrix multiplication each row of first matrix is multiplied with each column of second matrix. First we should multiply first row to first column and second column, second row to first and second column, third row to first and second column, right? So let us multiply first row with first column. When I multiply first row with first column, what will be my first element? 3 into 2. 3 into 2. Next, this 2 will be multiplied with this 3 plus 2 into 3. Then 9 will be multiplied with 5. So I can write that as 9 into 5. Similarly here, multiplying it with second column, 3 multiplied with 6, then 2 will be multiplied with 9, then 9 will be multiplied with 2. 9 will be multiplied with 2. Now second row should be multiplied with first and second column. So 5 is multiplied with the 2 plus 6 is multiplied with the 3 plus 4 is multiplied with 5. And here now we have multiplied second row to first column. Let us multiply second row to second column. So this is 5 will be multiplied with 6, 6 will be multiplied with 9, then 4 will be multiplied with 2. Okay, so now second row we have multiplied to both the columns. Now let us multiply third row to row, first column and second column. Third row multiplied to first column gives us 7 into 2 plus 8 into 3 plus 1 into 5. Right? So third column we have multiplied to, third row we have multiplied to first column. Now let us multiply third row to second column and check what will be the values. 7 into 6 plus 8 into 9 plus 1 into 2. Right? 1 into 2. Now we have multiplied every row with every column. Now let us simplify this one. So what is the value we are getting here? 3 into 2 is 6 plus 2 into 3 is once again 6 plus 9 into 5 is 45. 3 into 2 is 6, 2 into 3 is 6, 9 into 5 is 45. 3 into 6, 18. 2 into 9, 18 plus 9 into 2, once again 18. So 3 into 6 is 18, 2 into 9 is 18, 9 into 2 is 18. Right? Fine. What will be this one? 5 into 2, 10 plus 6 into 3, 18 plus 4 into 5, 20. Right? 5 into 2 is 10, 6 into 3 is 18, 4 into 5 is 20. 5 into 6, that will be 30. 6 into 9, that is 54. Then 4 into 2, 8. Okay. 7 into 2 is 14. 8 into 3, 24. Then 1 into 5 will be 5. Similarly here, 7 into 6, 42 plus 8 into 9, 72 plus 1 into 2 is 2. Right? So what will be this value? 6 plus 6 is 12. 12 plus 45 is 57. Right? 18 plus 18 plus 18, that is 54. Right? Here 10 plus 18, 28. 28 plus 20, 48. Then here 30 plus 54, that is 84. 84 plus 8, that will be 92. Then 14 plus 24, 38. 38 plus 5, 43. Then 42 plus 72. So how much you get? 42 plus 72. It will be 114. 114 plus 2, 116. This will be the resultant matrix. So we all know that this was the necessary condition, that is number of columns of first matrix should be equal to number of row of second matrix, and resultant matrix will be of order 3 cross 2. Now we can check here, this is of order 3 cross 2. Okay, fine. I hope this thing is clear. Right? So let's move on to this one. Okay, so here let us check the condition. Is it going to satisfy? This is of order 3 cross 3. This is of order 3 cross 1. So number of columns here are equal to number of row here. So the matrix multiplication is possible. And what will be the order of next matrix? That is resultant matrix. It will be 3 cross 1. Let us check it out. A into B can be written as 5, 7, 3, 2, 9, 1, 6, 4, 8 into 2, 6, 5. Okay. So now as we know, each row should be multiplied with each column. Here we have only one column, so it will be multiplied with only this column. So first row with the column, what we get? 5 into 2, 5 multiplied with 2, plus 7 multiplied with 6, plus 3 multiplied with 5. Right, 5 multiplied to 2, 7 multiplied to 6, 3 multiplied to 5. Now we don't have any another column, so there is no need to write the values on this side. So we have to move on to next row, second row, because we don't have second column there. Right, in this case and all we had second column, so we got these values, but here we are not having second column, so let's not it is not possible for us to write any entries here. Right, this will end here. So second row with first column, 2 into 2 plus 9 into 6 plus 1 into 5 plus 1 into 5. Now third row with this column, so what do we get? 6 into 2 plus 4 into 6 plus 8 into 5. Is that clear? So now we have multiplied every row with this column, which was only column there. So this will be the matrix, required matrix. Let us simplify this. Let us check out what do we get here. 5 into 2 is 10 plus 7 into 6 is 42 plus 3 into 5 is 15. Right? Similarly 2 into 2 is 4 plus 9 into 6 is 54. 1 into 5 is 5. Similarly 6 into 2 is 12 plus 4 into 6 24 plus 8 into 5 40. Fine. So these were the values. If we simplify them, so what do we get? 10 plus 42, 52, 52 plus 15, 67. 4 plus 54, that is 58, 58 plus 5, 63. 12 plus 24, 36, 36 plus 40, 36 plus 40 is 76. So this is the required matrix. You can check here, the order of the final matrix should be 3 cross 1. So it is 3 cross 1. Right? This is how we need to solve it. So you take it down, pause this video and take down the problems. So with these two examples, we'll wind up with matrix multiplication and we'll proceed with the properties. We'll start up the new topic, that is property of these operations. Okay. So pause the video and take down the notes. Okay friends, I hope you have taken down all the things which was there on the previous slide, right? So we have 5 types of matrix operations. What were they? We have totally learned 5 types of matrix operations. What were they? First one was matrix addition, second one was multiplying a matrix with scalar, third one is negative of matrix, fourth one is difference of a matrix, and fifth one is matrix multiplication. Right? So for one by one we need to check the properties, that is for addition, for subtraction, each and every operation, whatever we have learnt, for each and every operation we need to check the properties, right? So first first operation was matrix addition, so we need to study properties of matrix addition. Whatever are the properties of matrix addition, same will be the property for difference of matrices also. Same will be the property for difference of matrices also, right? So how many types of properties we need to study here? We need to study for addition, which holds good for difference also. We need to study for multiplying a matrix with scalar, and then we also need to study the property for matrix multiplication. These are the three groups for which we need to study the properties, right? So coming to first one, that is properties of matrix addition. For matrix addition or subtraction, we have four properties. First one is commutative law, second one is associative law, third one is additive identity, fourth one is existence of inverse, right? These are the four operations, so four properties. Now coming to commutative law. So what do you mean by commutative law? That is, if something is possible, if some operation is possible, then reverse of that operation is also possible, right? There is nothing but the commutative law. That is, if A is equal to Aij and B is equal to Bij are the matrices of same order, because why we need same order? Because for matrix addition are the matrices of same order, then what does this commutative law says? A plus B will be equal to B plus A. A plus B will be equal to B plus A. So if you add two matrices A and B, right, whatever you get, same you will get when you add B and A, right? So mathematically it can say that if A is equal to Aij and B is equal to Bij, then A plus B will be what? Aij plus Bij. A plus B will be Aij plus Bij, right? What are these Aij and Bij? Elements inside the matrices. So it can be written as Aij plus Bij, right? So now, right, what is A plus B? That is Aij plus Bij. I can also write it as Bij plus Aij. Why? Because Aij and Bij are numbers. Right? Also, addition can be reversed also. For example, if Aij is 2 and Bij is 3, so Aij plus Bij will be equal to 2 plus 3, nothing but equal to 5. So I can write that as Bij plus Aij also, that is 3 plus 2 also. Right? Same answers I will get. So I can write Aij as Bij plus Aij. So this can be written as Bij plus Aij. What is Bij? That is matrix B. What is Aij? That is matrix A. This is how it is defined. Now coming to some examples. Suppose A is equal to 2, 3, 4, 1 and B is equal to 9, 6, 2, 5. What is the condition here? Order of both the matrices should be same. The condition holds good. Same condition is applicable as the condition for addition of matrices, right? That was the condition for addition of matrices also. Here also the same condition will hold good. Now what will be A plus B? That is A plus B. So if you want to add two matrices, what you should do? Should add the corresponding elements of both the matrices. Here we have A11 as 2. What is corresponding element of 2? That is 9. 2 plus 9. So 3 plus 6, 4 plus 2 and 1 plus 5. 2 plus 9 is 11. 3 plus 6 is 9. 4 plus 2 is 6. 1 plus 5 is 6. This is what we got from A plus B. Now let us check what we will get from B plus A. B is what? 9, 6, 2, 5. What is A? 2, 3, 4, 1. B plus A if I do, this will be 9 plus 2, 6 plus 3, 2 plus 4 and 5 plus 1. So what will be 9 plus 2? 11. 6 plus 3? 9. 2 plus 4? That is 6. 5 plus 1 is 6 as well. Right? So is it not similar or is it not equal to A plus B? Definitely it is equal to A plus B. So if you take any example of matrices of same order, add them like A plus B, and if you perform the operation for B plus A, then you will find that both are always equal, whatever may be the matrices. If you add them both from A plus B and B plus A, both sides you will get the same answer. Okay, so this is about commutative law. What does commutative law says? A plus B will be equal to B plus A. This is commutative law for matrix addition. That is, commutative means reverse is also true. Reverse is also true. Reverse will be also same. Reverse process is also same. Right? So pause this video and take down this law. Okay friends, so we have seen in previous slide, we have seen the properties of matrix addition. We have seen something about commutative law. Now let us move on to second property, that is associative law. So what is associative law? Associative law says that as commutative law is for two matrices, associative law is for three matrices. So if A, Aij, B, Bij and C, Cij, if they are of three matrices of same order, that is, if it is M cross N, then I can write A plus B plus C. Observe it, A plus B plus C as equal to A plus B plus C. Okay, what it is saying? A plus B plus C is equal to A plus B plus C. That means if you add A plus B, right, you will get a matrix, right? If you add that and matrix C, right, first you should perform the matrix addition for A plus B, then whatever resultant matrix you will get, should add it for C. Then that will be equal to the resultant matrix of B plus C plus A. If you add B plus C and whatever matrix you are getting, if you are adding it to A, so whatever the answer you are getting here, that will be equal to answer of this one, right? So LHS will be equal to RHS. What is the importance of bracket? We need to perform that operation first, then we need to go for the next one, right? So A plus B is equal to what? Aij plus Bij in a bracket plus Cij, right? So what is Aij plus Bij? I can write it as, if I add matrices Aij plus Bij, I will get this value, plus Cij is separate. When I add them, Aij plus Bij will be in the bracket, then Cij will also come inside. So similarly, if you add, you will get these things, right? So A plus B plus C. This is the definition. This whole thing is the definition of associative law. In simple, first you should perform the operation on the bracket, then simplify the other things, then you will get A plus B plus C as equal to A plus B plus C. Alright, now let us understand it with some simple example. Right, and one thing is, order of A, B and C should be same. Right, let A equal to 2, 0, 3, 4. What is the order? 2 cross 3. B is 5, 7, 9, 6. What is the order? 2 cross, sorry, this is 2 cross 2. 2 cross 2. And here also we have C as 2 cross 2. Now let us verify associative law. Okay. So what is A plus B plus C? A plus B is in the bracket. So let us evaluate that one. A is what? 2, 0, 3, 4. B is 5, 7, 9, 6. That's there in the bracket. Plus, what is C? 3, 2, 6, 1. Right? Now let us simplify the matrices inside the bracket. 2 plus 5 is, right? So what do you get? 2 plus 5. Then here 0 plus 7. Then 3 plus 9. And then 4 plus 6. Plus what is outside? That is matrix C. 3, 2, 6, 1. Now if I simplify this, what will be this one? A plus B plus C. 2 plus 5 is 7. And 0 plus 7 is 7. 3 plus 9 is 12. 4 plus 6 is 10. So the matrix inside the bracket will come out to be 7, 7, 12, 10. It is not compulsory that every time you write this step directly, you can write this step also. By adding this directly, you can write this step also. Till now, as it was the new concept, I have written each step separately, but that is no need. You can directly write it down. So 2 plus 5, 7, 0 plus 7, 7, 3 plus 9, 12, 4 plus 6, 10. Same thing, you will get it out. And this thing as it is. Now I will do it directly. If I add two matrices, what I will get? 7 plus 3 is 10, 7 plus 2 is 9, 12 plus 6 is 18, 10 plus 11, 10 plus 1 is 11. So what is this matrix? 10, 9, 18, 11, what we got? What is that matrix? Nothing but A plus B plus C. A plus B plus C. So this is the LHS part of this. Let us verify the RHS part. What is the RHS part? A plus B plus C. It is given by A plus B plus C. A as it is, B plus C inside the bracket. What is the meaning of this? First bracket should be evaluated. First bracket should be evaluated. What is there in the bracket? You keep this 2, 0, 3, 4, that is matrix A as it is here, plus what is there inside? 5 plus 3, 8, 7 plus 2, 9, 9 plus 6, 15, 6 plus 1, 7. If I evaluate the matrices, if I add the matrices inside the bracket, so what will I get? 8, 9, 15 and 7. Now if I add these two matrices, what will I get? 2 plus 8 is 10, 0 plus 9 is 9, 3 plus 15 is 18, then 4 plus 7 is 11, right? So what you get here? 10, 9, 18 and 11. So is that not equal to LHS part? Definitely equal, right? So this is how associative property can be verified. There is only difference is bracket is shifted. Bracket is shifted. If you shift the bracket, there is not going to be any change in the matrix operation or the value of the final matrix. Is that clear? Okay. Now as usual, you pause down the video and take down the notes. Okay friends, so we have seen two types of properties, that is for matrix addition. Till now we have learned two properties. What are they? Commutative law and associative law. I hope commutative law and associative law is clear for you people, right? Let's continue with the third type of third property, that is existence of additive identity. Existence of additive identity means what? Every matrix has its own identity matrix, right? For every matrix there exists an identity matrix, right? There is some matrix which will be identity matrix for our considered matrix, right? So that is why we call it as existence of additive identity, right? So for every matrix definitely there is an identity matrix. If we consider matrix A, this matrix A is having identity matrix, right? And that identity matrix is different for addition process and it is different for multiplication process, right? Every matrix A of any matrix A is having its own identity matrix, right? Is having its own identity matrix, and that once again I repeat, every matrix A is having its own identity matrix. But remember that identity matrix is different for addition and it is different for multiplication. When we were listing out the types of matrices, we have come across identity matrix or unit matrix, where all principal diagonal elements were 1 and remaining elements were 0. That is an identity matrix for multiplication process. That is an identity matrix for multiplication process. But for addition process also we have identity matrix, that is different. But what is the condition to be satisfied, right? So if A is equal to Aij is a matrix of m cross n, right, and 0 is another matrix, or O is another matrix of same order m cross n, right? There is nothing but 0 matrix. Then A plus O is equal to O plus A is equal to A, or you can also call it as 0. A plus 0 is equal to 0 plus A is equal to A. If this condition is satisfying, then O or 0, whatever we have taken here, that is considered as, that is called as identity matrix of A. Here O is identity matrix of A, right? So then we call O is additive identity for matrix addition. Then O is additive identity for matrix addition. What is identity matrix? If you add identity matrix to any matrix, if you add identity matrix to matrix A, then value of matrix A should not change. Is that clear? If you add identity matrix to A, then the value of matrix A should not change. That is possible only if A plus O is equal to O plus A is equal to A. If this condition is satisfied, then we call O as identity matrix for addition process. Right? Let us understand it with some simple example. Let us consider A as 2, 5, 9, 7. And what is O? O is nothing but a zero matrix of same order as that of A. Right? Here A is having M cross N and zero matrix is also having M cross N. So let O is equal to 0, 0, 0, 0. What will be A plus O? That is A plus O. Once again 2 plus 0 is 2. 5 plus 0 is 5. 9 plus 0 is 9. 7 plus 0 is 7. That is nothing but A. If we applied A plus O, what we got? A. Let us check for O plus A. O plus A is O plus A here. 0 plus 2 is 2. 0 plus 5 is 5. 0 plus 9 is 9. 0 plus 7 is 7. So what we get if we add O plus A? We got nothing but 2, 5, 9, 7, which is nothing but A. So A plus O, that will be equal to O plus A, and that is equal to A. Right? So zero matrix is additive identity for matrix addition. Right? Is that clear? So I hope existence of identity matrix is clear. Now let us move on to next topic. Existence of additive inverse. Existence of additive inverse. It is similar to that of identity matrix, only small differences there. In identity matrix, what is the condition? If you add any matrix to A, then the value of that matrix should not change. The value of that matrix should not change. Then the matrix which is added is called identity matrix of A. Right? Similarly here, additive inverse. Right? If you add any matrix to A, then the answer should become 0. The answer should become to 0. Right? Or you should get a zero matrix. Is that clear? If you add any matrix to A, you should get a zero matrix. Then the matrix which is added is called as additive inverse of A or inverse matrix of A. Right? So let A be equal to Aij, M cross N be any matrix. Right? Then we call minus A as additive inverse of A. What we call minus A as additive inverse of A. Right? When do we call? When, see, if A is Aij, M cross N is any matrix, then there exists a matrix minus A, which is minus Aij, such that what? A plus of minus A, that is equal to minus A of plus A, that is equal to 0. What I said, if you add any matrix to A, then the answer should be 0, or you should get 0 matrix. Then only the matrix added is considered as additive inverse. Here what we are adding? We are adding minus A. When we add minus A, if we are getting 0 or O or 0 matrix, then minus A is considered as additive inverse of A. Right? Let us understand it with simple example. Consider a simple matrix A 3, 7, 9, 6 of order 2 cross 2 and O will be the zero matrix of same order. Then what will be? Minus A. A is 3, 7, 9, 6. What will be minus A? Minus 3, minus 7, minus 9, minus 6. So minus A is minus 3, minus 7, minus 9, minus 6. Now, what is the condition? A plus minus A should be equal to minus A plus A. That should be equal to 0. So A plus minus A is what? A is 3, 7, 9, 6. Right? Minus A is minus 3, minus 7, minus 9, minus 6. If you add this, what you will get? 3 minus 3, 0. 7 minus 7, 0. 9 minus 9, 0. 6 minus 6, 0. So all zeros. What is the matrix with all entries as 0? There is nothing, 0 matrix or O. Similarly, what is RHS part? Minus A plus A. Minus A is what? Minus 3, minus 7, minus 9, minus 6. And plus A is what? 3, 7, 9, 6. If you add, what you will get? 0, 0, 0, 0. So when I am adding minus A to A, what I will get? I will get plus, I will get 0. So minus A is considered as additive inverse of A. Is that clear? Minus A is considered as additive inverse of A. Right? So with this simple example, I have taken a 2 cross 2 matrix. You can take matrix of any order, but all the matrices should be of same order. If you take 3 cross 3, O also should be 3 cross 3. Then and minus A also should be of order 3 cross 3. Right? Then you can apply the property. You will get the values. Is that clear? So I hope these things are very much clear. So you take it down. So you take it down. Right? We'll wind up this session here. Right? So in next class we will continue. Okay? Make a note of this. Okay friends, I hope you have all taken it down. So these were the properties what we have discussed today. So we have taken some simple example. We have continued from the previous topic, that was matrix multiplication. I have taken 2 more examples to make the concept very much clear. Right? So after that we have started with properties of matrices. Right? So we have to learn the properties for matrices operations. What was that? Addition, difference. Addition and difference both are same. The same properties will apply. Next, multiplying a scalar to matrix, that also we should learn. And properties for matrix multiplication also we should learn. So we have started with the first part, that is properties of matrix addition. Right? So in that we have learned 4 properties. First one was commutative law. Second one is associative law. Third one is existence of additive identity. And fourth one is existence of additive inverse. Right? So I hope all the things are very much clear. So we'll stop this session today, and next session we are going to continue with the properties of scalar multiplication. Is that clear? So we'll stop it here. Next class we'll start with scalar multiplication. Okay, thank you.